Now, over to our life lessons that come your way from 6:30 to 7 a.m. on Rise and Shine. Today, we are all about corporate leadership. Now, in today's complex business world, effective leadership and rock-solid ethics actually go hand in hand. And today, my guest all the way from the UK is an ICF Master Certified Coach who's here to speak to us about leadership, or rather here to speak to us about corporate leadership and, of course, how the youth can benefit from understanding such effective leadership. I want to welcome Lisa Wynn to studio. This is her first time being with us on Alfajiri, but thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Are you loving Nairobi so far?
I'm loving Nairobi. Thank you. Yes.
You know, the rain. For you, this is quite all right.
Makes me feel at home, right?
It makes you feel at home, yeah? Because yes. London is just like that.
Yeah, thank you for arranging the rain for me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Karibu Sana, as we get into this discussion about corporate leadership, can you define that for us, Lisa?
So corporate leadership really is it's about really helping yourself to say, who do you want to be? Yeah. In your leadership role. Mm-hmm. And leadership, we talk about corporate leadership, but you can take a small SME, you can take a shop, you can take a school club, and you can deal with it in that same way. So corporate leadership is about saying who I want to be, how I want to show up, and how I want to impact the world and other people. Right,
okay. What are some of the gaps that you've actually come across in terms of your experience as a leadership coach that you come across that more or less inspired you to go, you know, speaking in different countries about how to be a leader, a proper leader?
Well, one of the big issues that a lot of leaders have is what we call imposter syndrome, that they somehow find themselves in a leadership role, that they don't, and they just think, it's little old me. I don't know how to be as a leader.
Okay. Yeah. You know, in this market, Lisa, as you know, we're heavy. Most of, you know, the businesses that you come across are SMEs. So we've got small, medium enterprises. How then again does corporate leadership actually apply to individuals running, you know, like you said, your small kiosk, your small supermarket?
Because every business is about people, and leadership is about knowing how to interact with the public, how to interact with those people internally. So it's all about people management. It's all about connecting with other human beings.
So that is the core of what corporate leadership is about.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it. All right, Prime Minister of Great Britain from 1766 to 1778, William Pitt, actually said this: ultimate power is apt to corrupt the minds of those who possess it. Let's get into ethics a little bit. What is really an ethical leader?
See, I don't think power corrupts. I think power tests. If you have a lot of power and you can still be a good ethical human being, then you're a great leader, right? So ethical leadership is really about making decisions moment by moment, consciously, that impact the world and other human beings in the right way. And when I've come across people who are unethical, you know, interestingly, I'll throw this in as we're ladies together here. Ladies statistically are more ethical in decision-making in leadership than men.
What? I know, right?
Okay. So, and when you look at the huge disasters that come out of unethical leadership, like Enron, which brings down banking in the West, you know, it's incredibly important ethical leadership.
Right. Okay. So we want to get into those rules then, how to prevent misuse of power from your experience. What do you actually speak to the HODs, to the leaders of different corporations about how to just manage their power?
So part of it is about knowing your own values and living by them. And part of it is about looking at the company culture and how does the company culture support people in making ethical decisions. So if you look at Enron, for instance, there was this entire culture of being smart, being clever, making more money than anyone else. So people would lie in order to cover up their mistakes. You have to create a culture where it's safe to tell the truth, where it's safe to make mistakes. And I think that's the most important thing in generating ethical leadership.
So would you say our governor at least is practicing proper leadership by admitting that, you know, the ban that was actually in effect wasn't really 100%, you know, well thought out. And, you know, it was him accepting. Pretty much that's what he just said in that press briefing.
I was quite inspired. I mean, you know, I've just flown into Nairobi, so I don't know all the details. But I'm sitting here watching on the screen thinking, you know, he's saying, we made a mistake.
Yes.
Or he's, you know, we need to stop. He's having the humility to say that. You know, most leaders would say, I'm going to make this right, and they would push on. And he's specifically saying not. And the other thing that's really important in great corporate leadership is the collaboration. And I loved the invitation that he said, you know, this is us. This is not me telling you what to do. We're in this together. Right. And that's really important in politics, in leadership. It's what the world needs right now. An invitation for people to take personal responsibility, not just give their power to the government and their boss. Okay, so those are some of the qualities that a good leader should possess. And you've actually mentioned humility, which is rare to come across. So when you see those ethical lapses, that's one of the things that when you're dealing with the individual, the person actually doesn't possess those qualities despite him having that position. Exactly. Exactly. And you know, one of the other big challenges with leadership in the 21st century is that people are promoted according to technical excellence, not because they can manage people. So when you see a mobile phone company, for instance, one of my big clients, people get to a stage where they're brilliant at what they do, so they're given a promotion, and now they're expected to lead people, and they have no idea. Right. Okay. So then I really want you to actually emphasize the importance of taking on corporate leadership, either as a course or as an ongoing kind of, you know, study or what have you, just as an ongoing process for those who are in positions of leadership. Yeah, so it is a skill. It's a definite life skill. And people traditionally say leaders are born. I don't believe that. I think we can grow leaders. So we need to learn the skills of humility. We need to learn to know ourselves, know what's important to us, and how can we be authentic in our leadership. So these are skills that are readily taught. We need to help people understand how to deliver a message. How to inspire people. The old command and control form of leadership is gone, especially with millennials. It's true. Actually, I like to define it as vertical communication. Like, it's no longer Lisa telling Shiko what to do. It's horizontal. It's we're communicating, we're chatting. And I think, you know, in teaching people, that's one of the things we look at is the different generations. And how do you communicate with those different generations, but also how do you communicate with every human being? Because essentially corporate leadership, as we said, is about how you are with other people. So these are all skills we can teach. Okay. You know, when you put it like that, then now it makes sense, even for someone who is the definition of young, a young leader, can see how this does apply to them. So what would you also say in terms of encouraging young people to take up corporate leadership, as you say, as a life skill? You know, you talked about whether you're running a club, whether, you know, probably you've got an initiative going on, because a lot of young people have set up initiatives, and that means they are actually managing people, you know, to just help them push their initiative. You know, what would you say to them? That the skills that they will learn in running their club or their new business are going to take them all the way through life. Because McKinsey, the McKinsey Institute, did a lot of research on the leadership gaps. And the three main areas. One is advanced technology. To be advanced in technology, you have to be a good learner, you have to be dedicated, have the emotional intelligence to keep studying, right? But the other two areas are social skills and emotional skills. And those are two of the biggest three gaps in leadership right now. So as a young person, learning to deal with other people, having the emotional intelligence to keep smiling in the face of somebody who's angry with you or being unreasonable. These are the things that African companies are saying they struggle to find in young people. Those emotional intelligence skills.
That's a good point. I didn't even know that. Yes, so when you're actually interacting with the CEOs and what have you, those are some of the things that they tell you, that emotional intelligence isn't really at its peak here.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. So maybe someone who could be watching probably is wondering, how can I access Lisa? I understand you've got an event today. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that as we wind up, and where to find you on social media, hopefully, if you have an account.
Of course. Yes. Okay. Yes. So later today, speaking at ICF, International Coach Federation, Kenya. We're talking about celebrating coaching. You can find details of that on Facebook.
Yes.
ICF Kenya or Lisa Wynn. LinkedIn. You can search me on corporate on LinkedIn, and I show up under Lisa Wynn there.
Okay, great. So you're able to offer one-on-one coaching if anyone was to actually get in touch with you.
Yes, we can offer one-on-one coaching in Kenya, internationally. We also run a lot of in-house programs, so companies like the BBC, many multinational companies, we run in-house corporate training for their leadership. And open programs we're going to be running early next year in Nairobi.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we can't wait to see you next year. Of course, you're welcome to come back to the program and tell us more about this, because I think it's something that definitely needs to be explored a little bit more. And like you said, this is a great way to even inspire our youth as they're going about, you know, creating all these little initiatives, or if they're running their own companies, why it's so important for them to actually understand that. So I've learned something today. Thank you so much, Lisa. Okay, that is Lisa Wynn, ICF Master Certified Coach, talking to us about the importance of corporate leadership and just why we really need to actually take it on, not just as a course, but as a life skill. And with that, we really do want to take a look at our quote of the day before we take a look at our traffic. This one comes in from Lord Acton, who is, or rather was, an English Catholic historian, politician, and writer, who went on to say that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I like that. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks for being